Hey everybody, welcome to another episode of Memes of the Week. The best thing you can do for this channel is beat that like button like it owes you money before watching this, so it reaches a wider audience. Also, before I get on with the memes, first a word from today's sponsor, the MGTOW Book Collection Part 2. Whether you're getting camel toe in Cambodia, banging babes in burqas in Turkey, or taking Polaroids of ladyboys in Thailand, Luca Vendetti has a series of books to make you live the dream. His new 3-booklet series includes How to Live on $500 a Month in Cambodia, Turkey, and Vietnam, in addition to his classic, How to Retire on $200K in Southeast Asia. He also has the MGTOW book. Visit MGTOWbooks.com and use the promo code SANDMAN to get 10% off. Now available in 4 formats, PDF, Mobi for Kindle, EPUB, and text-to-speech MP3. Sponsor link is down below. And now on with the memes. Number 1, here this woman is crying in silence because her husband found out that the 3 children they had together, none of them were his biologically. Yes, she cucks him and then cries as if she's the victim. What would you do? I'd max out all the credit cards and loans to buy Bitcoin. Change my name and just leave to another country never to be seen or heard from again. The way she sees it, though, is different. She's probably thinking her husband is evil. How dare he find out that he was a cuck? Up next, why is it that when a 6-foot-tall drug dealer with no future appears, women can't get enough of him? They'll probably correct me and say that he's actually 6'2" with a history of domestic violence and has been in jail twice, for your information. And they will say that they actually want him to put a baby into them. Girls want to be with them right now and you can't rationalize with them. Number 3 is Stefan Maule and he says that everyone in the world is allowed to prefer living among white people. Except white people, of course. That's probably one of the reasons he was cancelled from YouTube and Twitter. This ends with white people building gated fortress cities like the ones in South Africa to keep everyone else out. Molyneux was unbanned by X, but he wants an apology that he'll never get banned by them again. Moving on, here's Dublin hosting the largest redhead festival in the world, and below it is the Disney remake. For a moment there, I thought the photo on the bottom was from Ireland in the year 2060. When all the redheads went extinct and the blacks were like, we was leprechauns and sheet. Actually, that redhead festival is in Breda in the Netherlands, and not in Ireland. I'm predicting that in 75 years, having white sperm will make any white man instantly worth $1 million. Number 5, this TikToker is banned from Walmart after filming herself shoplifting, saying that she usually doesn't get caught. These days, shoplifting is no longer a serious crime like it used to be. Today, she's probably going to sue that Walmart associate for laughing at her and calling security on her. We live in a world where the victims are the criminals and the criminals are the victims. Up next, if you want to know why Canada's messed up, it's because Justin Skippy Trudeau failed grade 7. He dropped out of university 3 times, and the only reason he's rich is because he's a trust fund baby. The only experience he had before becoming prime minister includes being a substitute drama teacher and a part-time ski instructor. Not to mention he's also Castro's son. Castro says, don't talk about my sweet boy like that. Number 7, Elon Musk announces that his new Neuralink brain chip will allow you to transmit music directly into your brain without the use of a headset. Now you know hackers are probably going to hack people's minds and start playing Never Gonna Give You Up to troll you directly into your brain. You've been rickrolled, and they won't stop playing it until you pay them their ransom. People are morons and will accept this tech in their mind, even though they didn't want Bill Gates' brain chip. That song also has over 1.5 billion views on YouTube. Moving on, during the election, Democrats hoped that corn addiction would save Kamala's campaign. The corn industry, mostly women in it, tried shifting the attitudes of simps in it to vote for the left. You know your campaign is desperate when you have to roll out the whores for the win. This might have had an actual impact because 1 in 30 women have Lonely Fools accounts in America now. Number 9, this is an alcoholics test. If you notice the wine first, then you have a serious drinking problem. What a relief. I'm not an alcoholic because I noticed the weirdly placed knife on the plate. I'm just kidding. Obviously, I noticed the boobies first. But if you're a so-called straight man and you don't notice them first on this thirst trap, then you might just be bi. Up next, what would you do if you were ready to smooch her cooch and noticed this tattoo above it saying, abandon all hope ye who enter here? Would you still go in? I would, because I didn't swipe right 500 times and drive 200 miles to turn back now. But seriously, Is this message for men or for the babies that she's going to abort? Also, I think that Dante's Inferno is actually an infection, and it's in one hell of a hole. Number 11, here's a picture of me in 2027 with an AI Tesla girlfriend. And I can finally be with the woman that doesn't have any tattoos, is a virgin and dress modestly. Also, not to mention, won't nag, gives you a guaranteed happy ending every time and doesn't drain your bank account, even if you get the subscription plan. She also won't argue or divorce you. At that point, real women will have no way to compete with technology. That's why women will try and ban this, but they will fail. Moving on, here are some of the most attractive fantasy film women for guys over the last 35 years. The only one here that wouldn't be picked by anyone to be their wife is Zendaya. I'd pick Megan Fox back when she was a fox, and didn't have 3 messed up trans kids. Or Monica Bellucci when she was at her peak. She was already post-wall here. And where's Sydney Sweeney? She really needs to be in this too. Number 13 is Lisa Sparks, and she broke the world's record for being run through by 919 men in only 24 hours. Her father must be so proud of her that he called during to congratulate her on becoming a walking petri dish. Imagine being the 919th guy that day. It would be like literally throwing your human hot dog down the world's widest hallway. She probably went from being this to that on only one day. Up next, Angela wrote this book, How to Destroy a Man. Maybe a guy named Angela should write a book called Dawn, or Destroy All Women Now, but I'm sure it wouldn't have such a positive reception. There's even a part in this book talking about how to successfully make false allegations against men, but I think that we should just ignore because we are witnessing the dawn of the MGTOW age. Up next, we have Sydney Sweeney next to Teeny Weeny. I can't even remember the name of the woman on the right. That's that chick from 50 Shades of Grey. The blonde has fun toggles and the other one is quite flat. This picture shows us one film career inflating while another is deflating. And here's what it's like when the restaurant next door is more appetizing than the one you're currently in. Moving on, this woman's daughter is cheating on her husband, and her mother has been helping her do it. Women are thick as thieves. That's because mom wants to make sure that she can continue to see her grandkids, and that they can continue to be financially supported by their father. The last thing she probably wants is her daughter and grandkids to move in with her. Number 17, you know that the dating market is bad for men, when even women like this with a face that looks like a half-melted grilled cheese sandwich can be married and still be in a polyamorous relationship. Even ghouls have options these days. Sometimes all guys need is a hole with a roughly 98.6 degree temperature to put your swing into. Said some ugly dude with no standards. I get the same energy from this picture that I get from this one. Up next, Harley Quinn says she loves Joker. He says, no, you love the idea of me. More like she loves the attention and status that he brings her. Love is only for children and grown men that don't know any better. The system needs us to want to be in love because then we're easier to control. As a man, how can you love a woman unconditionally when you know she will only supposedly love you for what you can do for her? Number 19, I thought this was a joke, but apparently the film Freakier Friday is coming out on August 9, 2025. The whole body switch thing was done by half a dozen films in the 80s and 90s. And the better one was with Rob Schneider, where a hot woman switches bodies with an incel. These two are probably running out of money and need a paycheck, so that's why they're making this, and it probably won't be any good. Moving on, Travis Kelce's ex says she receives hateful comments from Taylor Swift fans on social media. But why in the hell would they go after her? She's a nobody. I think she's just saying this because she wants to get some attention. She's conveniently not going to show everyone those social media exchanges because they most likely don't exist. Also, why does it look like Travis has grown a 70s corn actor stash? Number 21, and speaking of black women, science has found that black women who blame whites are more likely to have deteriorating brains. I bet that's not even brain decay, but it's just the IQ in the 60s and 70s. But seriously, now we have apparent proof that playing the race card melts your brain. The better question to ask is which comes first, and why? Is it the brain rot or the racism? It's a bit of the old fried chicken and egg story. Up next, Maddie says that the first colony on Mars will be a communist one, because communism is the only structure that makes sense if you want to keep everyone fed, healthy, and happy. Communism can't even feed people on Earth, and are we to believe it's going to work in space? Communists have an affinity for the color red, and they want the red planet all to themselves, it seems. Sounds to me like the bread lines on Mars are going to be awesome, once the communism gets implemented. Number 23, women say, that men's standards are too high and that's why we are alone. And yet here we have an example of men's standards. If Serena the ugly midget can get all this attention, then you know the problem is really women's high standards. Women use the high standards as an excuse because they're the ones with high standards and are just covering their tracks. The truth is that most men can't afford to have standards if they want to get laid. Moving on, places like Nigeria and Jamaica have the highest number of paternity frauds in the world. This guy wants to get a DNA test just to make sure. But deep down, I'm sure that he knows, N-O-S-E, that the child is his. Maybe he's hoping that the people doing the test made a mistake. Maybe he's going to give someone else's DNA as a sample as a fake because he doesn't like the way his child turned out. But I think the child definitely passes the smell test. Number 25 and the last one, if you're aging slower than you like, then why not try meth because it helps? You can age 30 years in just 10. What I don't understand is why the person making this meme used the same font as SpongeBob SquarePants. She probably thinks she can compensate for that hideous pink hair. So that's it for another Memes of the Week. Please give this video a like to push it up in the algorithm and so new viewers can find it. If you enjoy this series and want me to keep making it, then donate at the PayPal and subscribe links below. Anyways, enjoy the rest of your day, and cheers.